Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some of the stocks on the move today in Europe. I'm Caroline Hepker with Tom McKenzie, and we're joined by Bloomberg's equities reporter Joe Easton. Morning, Joe. UK markets were on holiday yesterday. They've roared back into action, though, today with news of a potential Deliveroo acquisition. How are markets reacting to that?
Yeah, so this is news that DoorDash in the US is agreeing to buy the UK-based company Deliveroo. This is worth around £2.9 billion. Now, we did get speculation of that deal, or at least news that they were in preliminary talks a couple of weeks ago. The price is 180 pence, so it is a 29% premium since before we got the initial news of this around a week ago. However, this stock was worth a lot more back in the COVID days when everyone was at home spending all their money on takeaways, not going out of the house, not going to restaurants. So in fact, some investors might not be too happy with this if they've been in for the longer term, but it is the latest bit of news in this sector. We saw Prosus agreeing to buy Just Eat Takeaway previously after valuations come down. So I kind of think that, although it's a decent premium recently, if you're a longer term investor in Deliveroo, 180 pence isn't the best deal.
From delivery companies to fashion, which I know is really the sweet spot for Joe Easton. Hugo Boss. Seeing some uplift this morning. We had some details. At the earnings, the stock is up, 6%? Is this a David Beckham effect? Did you see the underwear campaign, Joe Easton?
I did. Maybe it's the Joe Easton effect, because I've actually been building a bit of Hugo Boss collection recently. I don't want to...
It's more likely, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't want to give them too much credit, but they've had some good deals recently. And actually, I've been reading an analyst report out of Citi today, and they're saying that the reason that Hugo Boss's sales have done well is because they've actually been doing more discounting. So potentially this doesn't mean that demand is strong. They've actually just been giving some good offers on some of their products, and has been enticing people in, not just me, other people as well, and therefore that has boosted the sales. So the sales have rebounded a bit in the latest quarter. So the company said today it's in a bit of an uptick, and the stock was gaining as much as 8%, or actually extended to around 10%, now up around 5%. One of the best performers in Germany, following strong numbers from Hugo Boss.
Okay. And finally, Bloomberg reporting that Shell's exploring a potential takeover of rival BP over the weekend. How are the markets thinking about that now?
Yeah, so this is an interesting story from our deals team. As you say, Shell looking at BP. The kind of small print to the story is that Shell wouldn't be looking to pursue a deal unless BP's share price comes down even more and the oil price comes down even more. So it's kind of just saying they are having a preliminary look at this, and if the deal becomes more attractive in the future, then they would look to go in. But it is a really good story from our deals team, and actually lifting the stock. It was up around 3% to 4%. The opening of trading is coming back down a bit at the moment. We're up around 1% for that stock. Shell stock, meanwhile, going the other way. That was down almost 2% earlier in this session. So potentially the market is reacting in terms of thinking this is something that could go. And we have seen considerable underperformance for BP versus Shell over the past couple of years. Potentially the company is looking to make a bit of headway on that, and therefore the market reading into that following the story from the deals team.
Yeah, the market cap of Shell is about, 3 times that of BP. The Elliott investor, one of the activist investors in BP, has an approximately 5% stake, and they have been pushing for significant restructuring.
Yeah, and they used to really trade together, those two stocks, and then we saw a divergence where Shell just continued to rally and BP came down. So it's kind of
not a great story for the London market, is it? Even though this is going to, if it were to go ahead, it would end up being like the biggest oil deal ever.
It would be, I think it would be the biggest in terms of that sector anyway, for sure.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.